How's it going, everyone? The question on today's show is what is going on at Arsenal Football Club? For the last couple of days, we've been expecting a few signings, but it seems like we're only getting signings announcements from the women's side of Arsenal Football Club, but we are still waiting for the men's side to make some announcements. And it's been reported that there's some announcements imminently in regards to Noni Madueke and potentially Christian Mosquera. So we're going to be talking about that in this show, as well as some other Arsenal transfer news. If you're new around here, you know what to do. Consider hitting that like and share button. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. It goes a long way in helping me out grow this channel. It's free. Free, guys. It's free to subscribe. So you might as well. And if you're watching live, welcome to the show as well. Much appreciated. There's a lot to chat about in regards to Arsenal today. As I said from the start, it's that basically we are expecting some some transfers announcements in our Arsenal, but ultimately nothing has happened just yet. So we are still waiting, as you know. Just a few hiccups here, guys. Yeah. So what is going on at Arsenal? It's been reported, and I saw it just not too long ago in regards to Arsenal Football Club. Like Noni Madueke has finished all his sort of media work, taking all his official pictures, and apparently, according to our very own AFTV, this is the official picture of Noni Madueke. And that obviously that they've probably got from somewhere, don't know. And apparently he's going to be wearing the number 20 shirt, according to AFTV. Noni Madueke will be announced today. That is basically what they are reporting. This was posted earlier today, just not too long ago. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think about this. Number 20. I can't remember who was our last number 20. I can't actually remember. But if this is true, it is what it is. We're going to have to support it. And I think it's just one of those things where Arsenal, historically, as we know, they take forever to basically announce any new signings in whether, I mean, historically, we've all known in the past where a player's basically been at Arsenal, has done all his medical, he's ready to be announced, but Arsenal Football Club tends to take their time in regards to this. But obviously, where there's pre-season games coming up very soon as well, so I think it's fair to say that Arsenal will be making some announcements very imminently, if not today. The last couple of days, as I said, they've made some signing announcements in regards to the women team. Smith was yesterday. I think it was Olivia Smith from Liverpool. And the day before was that goalkeeper. I can't remember her name. And yeah, also it's one of those things where I'm just thinking to myself, are Arsenal actually going to make the announcement for Noni Madueke today? As I said, a lot of people have reported that either is today. And as you guys know, Arsenal seems to be like and making announcements on Sundays. We got a bomber obviously with Madueke, I think it was last Sunday, and obviously then he left the Chelsea camp. Obviously, when came to London to do all his medical and his media work, and that's been done now. And obviously, we've got the bomber in regards to the Yorkers. I'll get onto that in a minute, and obviously the Mosquera as well. So there's been a lot happening at Arsenal at the moment. But again, we are just basically waiting for Noni Madueke's signing to be announced. And I've said it in my previous show, I said it a couple of days ago, that I do expect Arsenal to make some announcements in the next couple of days. But we're just going to have to wait and see, because I just don't understand. Is it a case of, I don't know, why do Arsenal take so long to make announcements? I really don't get it. Like I said, we got preseason friendly. I believe we're playing Watford in the next couple of days. Then Arsenal are traveling to the Asian tour. So yeah, it's been reported that Arsenal's going to be making. I mean, nothing has really been confirmed yet, because as we all know, a lot of people tend to wait for either it's Dave Ornstein, whether it is Dave Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, and basically all of that good stuff. So, and you know, I think his name is Ben Jacobs as well, Sam Mockbell. So until we basically get one of them saying that the announcement is going to be made today, at the moment, as things stand, we just don't know. But we do expect Arsenal to make some announcements, especially with Noni Madueke. I think he's going to be the next announcement from Arsenal Football Club very imminently. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in regards to this potential announcement, signing. Is it a good one? I think we've got into that stage now where it's just rinse and repeat. We're just unfortunately just going to have to get used to it. I think it's one of those things now. I think a lot of Arsenal fans have come to the terms that Noni Madueke is now an Arsenal player. We're just going to have to support him. We unfortunately don't have any choice but to support Noni Madueke when he does come to Arsenal. Just looking at all the news here, non-Arsenal news. I do talk about non-Arsenal news as well. Breaking news from Ornstein and Fabrizio, as I was just saying in regards to Manchester United, not Arsenal, just football related. Very, very quickly, Manchester United have agreed with Brentford to sign Brian Mbeumo. Deal between the clubs to drop £65 million guaranteed, up to 6 million in add-ons in 4 installments. The 26-year-old has been given a green light to go and take his medical at Arsenal. He only wanted to join Manchester United. He's been saying it. If he was going to leave Brentford, it was only going to be for Manchester United, and it's looking like that's going to be finalized now. And the contract was agreed weeks ago with Mbeumo. As I said, he only wanted Manchester United after the Cunha deal. So it looks like Manchester United are going to be getting Brian Mbeumo. 70 million for a man that's only got a year left on his contract. I'll say it's great business from, in my opinion, is great business from, if anything, from Brentford. If anything, this is it here. Fabrizio Romano obviously reporting that. And yeah, mixed feelings in all honesty. I don't know about this one. It is what it is, but here we go. David Ornstein, here we go. Basically saying the same thing I've just read out. And yeah, Brian Mbeumo is going to be joining Manchester United. It is what it is. We're getting on in Madueke. So yeah, back to the Arsenal one. Just a quick one in regards to Manchester United. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Manchester United sort of split in regards to this. I think it's going to be similar to the Noni Madueke in regards to, I think we all agree Brian Mbeumo had a great couple of seasons for Brentford. Noni Madueke, we're not too sure about that. However, I think it's the price tag for both players that Arsenal and Manchester United fans are both going to be a little bit up and arming about in regards to these potential transfers. I mean, we're practically done with when it comes to Madueke. It's just a matter of when are we? Arsenal Football Club just announced it already. We already know he's been to the building. There's been videos, there's been pictures, and unfortunately, Arsenal are taking their time. But I do think today Arsenal will announce Noni Madueke, and if they do, best believe I will be doing a video on that here. So make sure if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. It will go a long way. And you guys, and don't forget to turn on the notification button because you get all the notification in regards to when I drop all these videos. So yeah, basically, and another potential announcement that we're expecting in the next couple of days, should I say? Imagine if we got this today. If we got, but I doubt it because it would be too much for Arsenal Football Club to basically be announcing I believe two potential signings in one day. But it would be great. It would be fantastic if we could. But I can't see that happening. Let's be honest about it. But the other one is Christian Mosquera. So what exactly is going on with Christian Mosquera, you say? It's one of those things where, as I said, we already know what's going on. He's already apparently done his medical as well, actually, in terms of Mosquera. He's done all his medical. He's done all his media work. Obviously, fees had been agreed. I think he did his medical on Wednesday, and apparently Arsenal is scheduled to announce him over the weekend. As I said, here we go. Here, Christian Mosquera. Obviously, he had already agreed a deal to sign for Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, honestly speaking, I don't know what's going to be happening in regards to Mosquera, but yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Yeah, what is going on here? We are having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Let's have a look. Just bear with me, guys. Yep. There we go. yeah, Christian Mosquera obviously had his medical at Arsenal and is set to sign for Arsenal Football Club. So again, that's another one that we are hoping that is gonna be announced in the next couple of days. Probably not today. I don't see Arsenal Football Club announcing Mosquera before Noni Madueke. I don't know. These two signings is one of those ones where yes, um, are we gonna be fully excited about this? I really don't know. When it comes to Arsenal Football Club, I don't honestly. I really couldn't tell you, but yeah, it's one of those things where Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments. Are you guys excited about the potential signings of Noni Madueke, Christian Mosquera, and and you know, obviously your careers, which I'll get onto shortly as well. But the likelihood is, I personally believe that the first um signing that Arsenal are going to announce next is going to be um Madueke and Christian Mosquera. But the question is, when are Arsenal going to announce Mosquera? That is basically the question now. I personally couldn't tell you this. However, there's going to be a breaking news. I believe that will be coming out of Arsenal imminently. This, today. I personally believe. I do think that we are going to sign. We are going to make an announcement later on today. But again, it's just a matter of we just have to wait and see. So, the next one is probably, I'll say, potential announcement that Arsenal might also make is Ethan Wanieri. That's another one potentially that might potentially happen in the next couple of days. When I could not actually tell you, but I can see it happening in the next couple of days. It's been reported that Arsenal obviously have agreed a deal to basically they're in the final stages of agreeing or basically, confirming Ethan Wanieri's contract extension. You can see it here on the Athletic. It's been reported Ethan Wanieri, Arsenal in final stages of Ethan's talks over new contract. So yeah, that is basically been almost concluded. Final stages. It's just I was told that he's basically put pen to paper from one of the reports that I read. I just couldn't find it where I'd read that from, but my report suggests that Ethan Wanieri had already actually signed a new deal at Arsenal. It's just a matter of time again for Arsenal. I keep saying again, a matter of time for Arsenal to basically make this announcement. So as you guys can see, we've got a lot of potential announcements to make in the next 2, 3, 4 days, or should I say in the next week. I said this in my last video. Arsenal are very active. And I just think that, and another thing, and obviously, I was just thinking to myself, if this does happen, obviously, we announce, let's say, Noni Madueke, Mosquera, Ethan's contract extension, and then the biggest one that obviously that we are all waiting for is Victor Yokeresh. So then my question is, um, when that does happen, then what happens after that? And I'll get because I'm going to do another show in regards to that. But when Arsenal finish and making all this incomings, is it a case of now we now focus on the outgoings? Because I think that's potentially what's going to happen, because the biggest one now that everyone's basically waiting for is this man here, Victor Yokeresh. We've agreed a deal with Sporting, but I think what apparently is holding up the deal is the add-ons. I've said this in my last show as well. Apparently, Sporting are playing difficult. They're being difficult in regards to the add-ons. They basically are digging in their heels in regards to how they're gonna format or put the add-ons for Arsenal. So as you guys can see here, deal in principle in place of an agreement for 63.5 million euros for a striker in this day and age. 54.8 million pounds. You know. Um and then obviously about £8 million in add-ons. So I mean, in this day and age, when you're thinking about Embuemo going for £70 million to Manchester United, and we're getting Gyökeres. Don't get me wrong, Gyökeres is a lot older and everything else, but he's a striker. We've always wanted him in this day's market, considering how much potentially Ekitike is going to be costing Liverpool. And obviously, Newcastle have basically said they don't want to sell Isak at the moment. So it's fair to say we're getting a bargain when it comes to, in my opinion, when it comes to Victor Gyökeres. But I do think this is a deal that has been done. It's imminently is going to be announced. Again, I'll give it about a week because Arteta wants all his new signings in before the preseason. And as I said at the start of the show, um, we're due to basically go on tour in the next few days, right? Arsenal are due to go on tour in the next few days. So it's like, I personally don't want it to be a case of, oh, we're only just getting all the signings in during pre-season. It's going to take them time to embed themselves to get into how Arsenal plays, the tactics, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's going to be strange, and I do hope this is a signing that does get done quite quickly, if anything else, you know. So yeah, let's just see what exactly happens in regards to that. And in other news, Arsenal have agreed a fee to sign Salford City's forward in Will Wright. That was also reported earlier today in regards to that. So yeah, this is a strange one. I didn't expect this one. And I think there was a lot of people that basically was like, oh, another story. How is this happening? But yeah, Arsenal are due to sign Will Wright. We can basically again see that here on the Athletic as well. Arsenal agree a deal to sign Salford City Will Wright. Apparently, the 17-year-old will move to North London for a fee in the regions of 200k plus add-ons. The pursuit of Wright is part of academy managers per Mertesaker's drive to recruit elite talent. Arsenal are backing Mertesaker with dedicated budget in order to strengthen the academy side. Wright potential attracted interest from a number of teams, including Liverpool, but Arsenal pursuit intensified. The Premier League champions ended their interest in the teenager as soon as they knew that Arsenal obviously was also interested, and it was looking very likely that he was going to be going to Arsenal Football Club, which is very strange. I would lie if I say I knew anything about this young man. I really, really don't. But it looks like Arsenal are potentially going in a whole new direction when it comes to the recruitment from the academy level and hopefully trying to get these kids, I say kids, this 17-year-old, because when you think about it, someone like a Wanyeri Lewis Skelly, they're like 18, 19, 18, maybe going 19. This boy is 17. So you can maybe say if all goes well in the next 2-3 years, you might potentially start seeing him in the first team. Maybe he might be a one to look out for that potentially might be taken over from a player like Gyökeres, for example. So we just don't know. But it's great to know that Arsenal are investing in the academy just as much as they are in the first team as well. And also, it's one of those things where Arsenal, you know, we're doing well. We're doing well in regards to that. You know, we just basically have to keep, rather than keep spending in the next couple of years hundreds and hundreds of £1 million on striker when we know we can potentially start getting these guys out for free from a young age. Maybe send them on a couple of loans, get them experience in the first team and another team, maybe even in another league abroad. We just don't know. Or basically just stay in England at Arsenal within the academy and continue to develop accordingly. So yeah, it's great news all over. I have no complaints in regards to that at all. But yeah, the main thing is we're still waiting, aren't we, guys? We are waiting for a couple of announcements, whether it's today, tomorrow, the next day, we just don't know. Let's just scour here to see if there's any potential Arsenal news whilst I'm basically doing this live at the moment. Oh yeah, just before, whilst shout out to England. You know, England obviously beat Sweden yesterday in the women's Euros. What a game. What a game. No one would have ever thought going 2-0 down. England would have been able to qualify, but super sub Chloe Kelly came on, permanent Arsenal player now, came on 2 assists, scored her penalty, and that penalty shootout. Oh my god. Honestly, gave me a headache. Yeah. Yeah, that's a different discussion. But yeah, that basically gave me a headache. I'm just happy and glad that Manchester United, England were able to obviously make it through. And yeah, great performance from Liverpool, from England. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me today. From England. So yeah, we're basically happy in regards to that. And we're moving on to the next stage. Italy is going to be the next one. Italy. That is not going to be an easy game, not going to be an easy game whatsoever at all. So we just have to wait and see in regards to how that one goes. And also, let's just talk quickly in regards to other football news as well. Isak and Ekatika. I don't know if you guys have seen and see what's going on with regards to that transfer at the moment. Liverpool obviously showed an interest in Alexander Isak. Newcastle basically said, nope, he's not for sale. If you do want him, it's going to be within the regions of 120 to 150 million pounds. And also Newcastle were also interested in Ekatike, and then Liverpool said, okay, if you're not going to sell us Isak, we're going to go for Ekatike as well. So, and apparently Ekatike has made it known that he wants to go to Liverpool. So now it's just a matter of Liverpool agreeing a deal with Frankfurt in regards to Ekatike. It is reported that they are in advanced talks with Frankfurt when it comes to Ekatike. I think the price tag is somewhere within the 80 million euros as well. So, as I said, when you think about how much we're getting Gyökeres for and how much Ekitike is costing, I know they've probably got better reach. Younger, they're what Ekitike is like 23, and Gyökeres obviously is like 27. So, I mean, it shows great ambition, and also Newcastle have now pivoted and said they're going to be going for, I believe it's Wisa from Brentford. However, it's been reported that Brentford actually don't want to sell Embuemo and Wisa in the same window, because that would be like shooting cutting off your nose to, deplete your face in a way. You can't do that. You've sold No God, your captain already. In Buemo, like I just reported, there's been a fee now agreed between Manchester United and Brentford. And then to go and sell Wisa as well, you might as well just pack up and go home. But then again, I say that, but Brentford have got a history, I say, of making good historic signings. When you look at Ivan Toney, for example, back in the day, you look at the likes of Ollie Watkins, that they all came from Brentford and they've gone on to be great strikers and been sold for great money. Same thing with Embuemo, they got him for quite cheap when he was quite younger in back in the days. Same thing with Wisa. And in terms of profit margins, they're going to be making quite a good profit when it comes to these players. But again, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like you can't sell Wissa and you can't sell Embuemo in the same window. And I just think like, yeah, you're going to be basically damaging yourself. And if you've got potential, like you want to make Europe next season, I mean, you got to be careful. Unless, like I said, they've got something up their sleeves as well. And also in other football news, Forest are interested in Villa's Aaron Ramsey, it is reported here. And also, I mean, Jacob Ramsey, no, Aaron Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey, is attracting interest from Nottingham Forest. As you guys know, Nottingham Forest have now obviously been bumped up to the Europa League from the Europa Conference, as basically at the expense of Crystal Palace, which I just thought that was really bad. It's reported here that Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey is of interest for Nottingham Forest. Like I said, they're doing quite well. The 24-year-old Villa Academy graduate representing obviously Villa for the last couple of years. He's been a good player, and I think he'll be a great signing for for Nottingham Forest, especially after they just sold Elanga to Newcastle as well. There's been a lot of movement in this summer transfer window, which I kind of expected to happen considering like it was quite quiet last summer, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I don't know, man. It looks one of those ones, isn't it? But yeah. And one that I do want to actually touch on, actually, it was this guy, guys. Um, this Nepan guy, Nepan, however you pronounce his name. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This one really annoyed me. This one actually really annoyed me on the basis that, you know, so here he signed for Manchester City because if you guys remember, I think it was it earlier this year in January he was doing a tour of England basically, and this Nepan guy, there was a speculation to suggest that Arsenal was interested, Man City were interested, but Liverpool, United, there was a host of teams in Europe, even Real Madrid was interested, and there was a host of teams that was quite interested in this guy. And apparently now he's opted to go to Manchester City. And I was actually, I'm not going to lie, I was hoping that he would have come to Arsenal. And apparently the fee was as little as £12.5 million on a 5-year contract with no further add-ons or sell-on clauses. That is very interesting. I'm very surprised that, it came from Rosenberg? Yeah, that they didn't put a sell-on clause or add-ons because let's be honest, I mean, Manchester City probably won't even sell him, but he might potentially go on to be a great player, and maybe the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich later on might have a look at him and he might think, you know what, playing for Liverpool, Real Madrid, it's a no-brainer. But he's a young talent. Like I said, there was a lot of clubs around Europe that was actually chasing his signature. Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, City. There was a host of clubs. However, he decided. I just thought because he's a Norwegian player, with us also having Odegaard, would have been able to sway him to Arsenal. However, seems like Manchester City have beaten a lot of Premier League and other European clubs to the punch physically. But nonetheless, it's a very, very good signing for them as well. But yeah, I don't know. I wished basically, I wished he had come to Arsenal. It would have been a great prospect, and it would have been one of those ones that potentially could have slot straight in. But then you then have the argument, then what happens to Ethan Wanyeri? Because apparently they're playing similar positions, so that would have been very, very interesting to say the least. But you know what? Good luck to him in regards to that aspect, and yeah, we wish him basically the best of luck. And just to finish off before I do go, hope you guys are all doing well. If you're here tuning in, give me a like as well. And also let me know in the comments, do you actually think that Arsenal are going to make an announcement today? Let me know, because I honestly do believe that we are going to be getting an announcement of Noni Madueke today. I do believe that, in my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comments as well. Much appreciated. And yeah, just to finish off, obviously Arsenal women broke the record yesterday by announcing Olivia Smith and another signing. I say another signing because we signed another player on a free transfer from Liverpool earlier this window as well. I think it was literally just last week. And yeah, yesterday Arsenal obviously announced Olivia Smith, £1 million, a record fee now. It's showing a record fee from for Arsenal, and yeah, I mean, what do I think? I think it's a great signing. I'm not gonna lie. Arsenal, obviously, in my opinion, I think they are chasing a lot of new great talents when it comes to next season, men and in the men and the women's team. Because honestly, I just feel like, excuse me here while I do some technical things whilst I'm here. Yeah, I honestly do believe Arsenal men and women team are basically they are basically trying their best to make sure that they are well prepared when it comes to next season. ultimately, because I just feel as though like um Arsenal, because when you think about it, last season Chelsea basically won everything, literally everything. Arsenal could have done better in some regards when it comes to, you know, domestic domestically in both men and women. So I think Arsenal Football Club as a whole have decided that this season is going to be their season, and I think ultimately it's fantastic. It's fantastic news in my opinion for Arsenal Football Club in regards to that. So yeah, let's see how it basically how it goes, because yeah, yeah, let's just see basically how it goes. Arsenal women, fantastic, great signing all over. Sorry about that. Some technical things whilst I'm live. A lot of work to do in the background to prepare for a live show, but hopefully you guys are okay. But yeah, I think basically this is a great signing. Olivia Smith, record signing. A record fee that was meant to be kept quiet because apparently it was meant to be an undisclosed fee. However, you know how it is. Football leaks comes out, and yeah, it's been leaked that she is now the first £1 million women signing in women's football. Can you believe that? The first women. The young Canadian forward joins Arsenal, the Champions League winners for a milestone summer. Nobody was supposed to know. Nobody was supposed to know, but everybody knew that one. Confidentiality was obviously broken, and she moved from Liverpool to Arsenal, which became official literally just yesterday. The circle of trust was small. Liverpool sporting manager, director of women's football, drove negotiation from his Merseyside with Arsenal counterpart and making a decision at the London end before bringing the player to the camp on final negotiation. Not even Smith's former Liverpool teammate and captain Taylor Hines, sorry, that's another one that came to Arsenal, whose contract expired by the end of and joined Arsenal, was told about the decision. So literally, it was one of those secret meetings, secret signings that obviously Arsenal made. And this is it here. Great signing from Arsenal, which was announced yesterday, as I said. And I honestly look forward to seeing her next season, because I just think that this is a fantastic signing from Arsenal when it comes to women's football. And I honestly cannot wait to see how she gets on at Arsenal next season. But yeah, listen, I'm confident about it because my sources tells me that there is going to be an announcement later on today. There is going to be an announcement, and apparently it's going to be Noni Madweke. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so, much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button as well, and I will be talking to you guys later. I will be talking to you guys later on tonight, because I am that confident that Arsenal will announce Noni Madweke today. If not today, then it's going to have to be on Sunday, because that seems to be our new day. But yeah, until later on, guys, I'll speak to you guys. Have a great afternoon. See you later on this evening. Take care, Gooners, as per usual.